Alright, now we look at a number of these sections that all really have to do with, in a way, the same sort of thing as this kind of weird thing about lists. So here you see they set A and B to the same string here. Okay, so they start with strings, and so let's do that. We'll come in here. So these are strings, but the question is, are they the same thing? So this is different than equality. We're asking if A is actually the same thing as B, same actual element. Okay, so where am I going? Here we go, run cells, and it says it's true. Okay, so now what happens if we actually concatenate A with something? So A is equal to A plus, because again we can't change banana within itself without doing more work than this, but we'll add to it the string S, and then now we'll ask, are A and B the same thing? So I changed A, but I didn't change B. And let's run that. And you see now it's false. Okay, so it looks like it's asking, you know, are they equal? But it's actually not. It's just the way Python hangs on to things. They're actually pointing to the same record, at least according to our text. Okay. Now let's check with A and B here with two strings. I mean, two lists. So lists are a lot like strings, but notice this time we'll see a difference between the equality and the is. And so you'll see that, you know, these are two different, whoops, ways the computer is taking care of this. So we'll do a print A equal B, and then we'll do a print of A is B. And we should get the same thing as them as that they had, and there's a true and then a false. And you see, you know, so they're equal, they have the same values and the same length and so forth, but they're not pointing to the same spot. Okay. So that has to do with, you know, so there I can have, you know, two lists that are exactly the same, but they're not the same object. Now though, here's a funny case, right? So if you assign A to B, it says that here they actually will point to the same object, and they call this aliasing because you've got the same object with two different names. Okay, so here we've got our B equals A, and we do the same thing, A equal B or A is B, and now when we run this, see, they're both true. And now we can really have that hit home by saying assigning something to B. So B0, the first spot there, is equal to 6, and then let's print A. And this actually, when I first started using Python, this got me in trouble, because in other languages, assigning like this with the equality would not make the same exact object. But you see here, we changed B, but A changed as well. Okay, so this is this idea of aliasing, and you may or may not have a need for it for some reason. You know, I can't say that I really think I've needed it, you know, but again, I had the opposite problem when I was first doing Python. I didn't realize what happened, you know, so I might assign a temporary like B equals A, but then you know, I changed B, but it also changed A. I went, what the heck? You know, so that's something you want to be careful of. So that's what the alias is telling us here. But now, so suppose I really do want to copy it, but as a different list. This is what they call cloning. And so you see, one way, and we'll see, there should be a method later that we'll see, is instead of just saying B equals A, do B equal A, and then use the indexing bracket there, but with nothing in it. Okay, and we'll look at if we get any differences in behavior if we put something in it. So let's try that first. So now we'll say colon, like that. And again, we'll ask if A is equal to B. We'll ask if A is B, and then we'll change B and see if it makes a change on A. Okay, so notice this time, instead of the A is B being true, it's false, and I get the 1, 2, 3. So now these were indices from 0 to 2. What happens if I do it this way? Now, you know, it doesn't seem like it should matter if I go 0 to 2 or just say the whole thing. Let's see. Oh, I messed it up. I'm sorry. I should have gone 0 to 3. Okay, because 2 doesn't make it. So you see, I can still make that mistake sometimes. And you see they are equal. They are not the same thing. And if I change B, I did not change A. So, you know, I can use the full index in there. But, you know, from the lazy point of view, why should I, if I just know I want to get a copy of the whole thing, you know, just use the colon in there. But the if I did sort of forget that and I just thought, okay, I want to get this whole thing, that would work just fine. Okay, so I just thought I'd run this again. Okay, so we see that that's a perfectly nice way to do this, and that is called cloning the list as opposed to aliasing the list. Okay, so that gives us 1110 and 1111. We'll stop there with these.